Homelander isn't just a superhero, he's a master manipulator. Using humiliation and fear, he controls and destroys those around him. I'm Dr. Patrick Kingsep, and today we'll uncover the psychological weapons Homelander wields and their devastating effects. From the Deep and Queen Maeve to A-Train, Starlight and Ashley, Blindspot, Becca Butcher, and Ryan, we'll examine how he uses fear and humiliation to dominate each character, revealing the dark psychology behind his actions. Plus, I'll share insights on recognizing and overcoming similar toxic behavior in real life. Our first victim of humiliation is the Deep, a hero craving validation, often at others' expense.
Chef's specialty. It is a South Korean delicacy.
Holy shit, it's Timothy. Oh my god, it's Timothy. He's my friend.
Now, such an uncomfortable watch, isn't it? Here we see Homelander forcing the Deep to eat his friend, Timothy. This one scene shows Homelander's use of manipulation and fear so clearly. On the surface, it could be just an act of cruelty, but if we delve deeper into it, we can see Homelander's motivations within the Seven. Having just allowed the Deep back into the Seven after he was exiled for a period, this control and dominance over him is showing the Deep and everyone around the table, if I allow you back into the Seven, you will do whatever I ask you to do. He's using the Deep's emotional attachment to Timothy to remind him who holds the power and testing his loyalty to him. It's also a warning to the rest of the group. Homelander shows everyone the consequences of disobeying him. He's sending a clear message: defy me and I will humiliate and degrade you in the worst possible way you can imagine. The Deep's wife, Cassandra, is initially disgusted, but quickly gives in to Homelander's influence, and we see her pushing her husband to comply with whatever Homelander asks of him. The rest of the Seven watch in stunned silence, their own fears mirrored in Deep's pain. And it's interesting he uses humiliation and fear so often throughout the series. We all know he can kill anyone, anytime. He's Homelander. But he chooses to humiliate rather than kill. He wants to appear dominant to others around him. If he simply kills someone, then his power ends over them immediately. But if he uses humiliation and fear, it allows him to control the person for long periods of time, and they live in fear of his response. Our next victim of humiliation is Queen Maeve, a jaded powerhouse forced to mask her true feelings.
And we have a gay hero.
Really? Who in the Seven is gay?
Queen Maeve.
Homelander's cruel manipulation of Queen Maeve is a masterclass in humiliation and control, exploiting her vulnerabilities for his own twisted amusement. He heartlessly exposes her sexuality to the public, a deeply personal aspect she wishes to keep private, forcing her to perform for the camera while he watches with a predatory smile. The fact that she shared a past relationship means nothing to him. She is merely another pawn in his game of dominance. This betrayal not only inflicts deep emotional pain, but also reinforces his power over her, leaving her feeling violated and powerless. The next victim of humiliation is A-Train, the speedster chasing glory, derailed by Homelander's demands.
A-Train, you're out.
Out of what?
Out of the Seven. You did great, but we're going in a different direction, so you're out.
In Season 2, Episode 4, Homelander's dismissal of A-Train from the Seven is a brutal display of his dominance and lack of empathy. A-Train, already struggling with declining performance and health issues, is abruptly stripped of his superhero status, a devastating blow to his ego and identity. Homelander's callous display and delivery of the news, devoid of any compassion or understanding, reinforces his image as a ruthless leader who values power and image above all else. This act further solidifies Homelander's position as the apex predator within the Seven, demonstrating his willingness to discard those deemed no longer useful, regardless of their past contributions or personal struggles. The public humiliation of A-Train serves as a chilling reminder of the consequences of weakness in Homelander's world, where compassion and loyalty are mere illusions. The next victim of Homelander is Starlight, an idealist newcomer confronted by the dark side of fame.
But you keep your distance, pal, because, well, she's my girl now. Starlight and I are in love.
Homelander, exploiting his position of power, publicly humiliates Starlight during a televised interview, exposing her past relationship with Huey and painting her as a traitor. This calculated betrayal leaves Starlight emotionally devastated, tarnishing her reputation and undermining her credibility as a superhero. Further asserting his dominance, he coerces her into a public charade of a relationship, culminating in a forced kiss on live television. This incident is just one example of Homelander's pattern of manipulating and abusing those around him, also highlighting his cruelty and complete disregard for the feelings of others. Homelander's next victim of humiliation is Ashley Barrett, a driven climber willing to sacrifice dignity for power.
Ashley, take off that wig.
What wig?
In a particularly degrading display, Homelander forces Ashley, Vought International's head of talent relations, to remove her wig in front of A-Train and the Deep. He exposes her insecurity about her hair loss, a symptom of her extreme stress under his leadership. This act is not merely about revealing a physical flaw. It's a deliberate attempt to strip Ashley of her dignity and professional composure. Homelander's demeaning comments and belittling behavior towards Ashley serve to further undermine her confidence and reinforce his dominance over her. This incident underscores his willingness to exploit personal vulnerabilities to maintain control, even within his own corporate structure. The people in Soups he targets respond in different ways, but they all lose some of their self-worth. This makes them easier to control and dominate. Starlight starts out rebellious, but eventually gives in. And then there's Blindspot, another victim of Homelander, a hero blinded by ambition, shattered by Homelander's wrath.
Blindspot, right?
A differently abled member of the Seven.
I just have one question. What happens if, I don't know, I do this?
Now, in a particularly disturbing display of cruelty, Homelander takes advantage of Blindspot's vulnerability during his audition for the Seven. Despite Blindspot's impressive abilities, Homelander's insecurity and fear of being replaced lead him to a vicious act. He violently assaults Blindspot, permanently damaging his hearing. This act not only humiliates Blindspot, but strips him of his power, and also serves as a chilling warning to any other Soup who might dare challenge Homelander's supremacy. Oh, and there's Becca Butcher, the forbidden love trapped in Homelander's twisted game.
I'm your father. We are a family.
Homelander's cruel manipulation of Becca Butcher is a masterclass in emotional blackmail and twisted isolation. He preys on her love for Ryan, threatening harm if she doesn't comply, while isolating her from any support. He dangles affection like a carrot, then yanks it away, keeping Becca emotionally off balance and dependent. And we can't forget Ryan Butcher, Homelander's son, a pawn in his father's terrifying legacy.
Buddy, you called me Dad.
By manipulating Ryan's emotions and power, Homelander turns their own son into a weapon against her, further solidifying his control and showcasing the devastating impact of his narcissistic abuse.
Let her go.
Out of my way, kids.
He subjects Ryan to fear-based tactics, pushing him beyond his limits and exposing him to violence, all while showering him with manipulative affection. This creates a toxic environment for the young boy, leaving him confused and vulnerable to Homelander's influence. It's a twisted form of parenting. Homelander doesn't just want to eliminate those around him. He wants their complete destruction. By stripping them of dignity and reducing them to objects of ridicule, he achieves a dominance far stronger than physical death. His victims become scarred by the trauma of public shame and are forever haunted. Homelander's tactics expose the depths of his evil mind, proving that for him the most effective weapon isn't a heat ray, but the crushing weight of humiliation and fear. So how can we apply what we've learned from Homelander's tactics in The Boys to deal with similar manipulation in real life? Let's break it down with a simple acronym: SHIELD. So first, see the signs of someone using humiliation and fear to control you or others. Identifying those tactics early is crucial to protecting yourself. Hold your ground by standing firm in your values and boundaries. Don't let the manipulator push you around or make you feel small. Inform allies by talking to trusted friends or colleagues about what's happening. Sharing your experiences can provide support and might reveal that others are experiencing the same thing. Whenever possible, exit the scene to remove yourself from situations where you're being humiliated or intimidated. Sometimes the best defense is to walk away. Leverage strengths by focusing on what makes you confident and resilient against manipulation. Finally, document everything to keep a record of incidents, which can be helpful if you need to report the behavior or seek assistance from higher authorities. By using SHIELD, you can protect yourself and maintain your dignity in the face of manipulation and control. Homelander's reign of terror in The Boys is a stark reminder of how fear and humiliation can be wielded as powerful tools of control. By understanding these dynamics, we can better equip ourselves to handle similar situations in our own lives. Stay vigilant, stay strong, and always stand up for yourself. I'm Dr. Patrick Kingsep, and thanks for watching.